Hello again, I'm here to show you the rest of the school themed journals that I have that will be in my Etsy shop. They will be in my Etsy shop when you see this video. In case you didn't watch the last video, they will be in my Etsy shop. When you see this video, they'll be in there, and they will be in there until Sunday morning. I will be putting my shop in vacation mode, or probably Saturday night actually, because I will be going to a memorial for my father-in-law and I won't be able to ship them out. But like I said in the last video, if you see a journal that you like and you're wondering if it's still available, just let me know. I don't think that it will show any items if I'm in vacation mode. So just send me a message and ask me if it's still available. If it is, I will be happy to reserve it for you when I get back. I'll just change the title to reserved for, and I'll send you a message letting you know that it's available for purchase. So in this video, I'll go over a flip through of the two sewing patterns, the two blank slate journals, and this little binder journal or ring binder that's it's a little bit embellished, but not super embellished. So, the prices will reflect all of that. So let's get started. I'm going to start with the sewing pattern journals. There are two. Let's see, about 8 by 5 1/4 is this one, and then this one is around 8, about 5 1/4, maybe slightly bigger. So they're about the same size. All right, so let's start with this one. So as you can see, okay, so for this one, I don't know why I didn't think of this before. I know you guys, if you've watched my channel before, I don't like just folding them in half and stuffing them because they end up getting like really, really alligator mouth. So I've been doing these flexible spines, so they're still like super squishy. But this time I thought, why am I only doing one signature? So I did 3 signatures here to kind of make it more even, and I really like it. I don't think I'll go back to the other way unless somebody specifically tells me that they like it the other way, because this is a lot more balanced, I feel like. So you'll see there's some vintage tatting along the spine of this one. Let me see what the copyright date is. This one's 1967. And there's just a simple pocket here on the front with some goodies tucked in. There's a math flashcard, a few memo sheets. This is an EduCard and a book plate. And then a fabric ruffle. This is a tuck spot here. So you can embellish on here or add photos or something like that, and then also tuck things in here. This is from a vintage reader. Some vintage trim. Note cap. This is a printable that I will have the link to any printables that I used in the description box. And then this is a music card from 1952. These are really cool. I don't remember where I got those. I've had them for a while and I try to use them sparingly, but one of these days I'll run out. Vintage flashcard. And then this is a vintage math workbook sheet. This is a vintage merchandise label. Lots of room for you to customize these. And some rickrack, some fabric ruffle, another fabric ruffle, some more of that vintage trim that you can treat as a tuck spot. This is a vintage photograph of a girl. I'm guessing she's maybe like high school age or college, I'm not sure, in her cap and gown. And then another tuck spot. This was a KBandFriends printable. And another printable here from that same office supply printable. It was basically a sheet with a lot of different packaging for office or school supplies. Excuse me. And then here's a vintage milk cap on some stationery and some snippet roll and an Albert Einstein first day issue, 1979. These are all envelopes, so if you saw my last video, I didn't actually take them out. This one's actually not an envelope. I guess I was going to sew this in. So you can, I'm going to put another envelope in this one. But if you want to still use this as it is, you can just add some glue or double-sided tape there. But I'll add another traditional envelope in there for you. A vintage label and a vintage sewing pattern catalog girl. Just a journaling card with a vintage math flashcard. These are kind of, I don't know if, I think they must have used them for children to trace with their finger, because they're kind of like a really, really fine sandpaper feel. They're kind of cool. And it's kind of smart, you know, for them to practice writing the numbers. I don't know. I'm just guessing. And then another vintage sewing pattern girl and a tag, vintage sewing pattern catalog tag. This is from an Ideals magazine. Another vintage photo of 2 school-aged boys. Another ticket. You guys have probably seen this Apple stationery. I'm so sad there are these folder notes. I think I've finally come to the end of using these. And then some vintage fabric and a little pencil sticker. Ledger paper, more ledger paper. Another sewing pattern girl and a little poem about the opening day of school. So lots of room for you to make it your own, and some goodies tucked in pockets. And so that is the what did I say? 67 Simplicity Sewing Pattern Catalog. Or not catalog. Oh, guys, it's been a long month. Packet. Envelope. That's what I was trying to say. Envelope. Sewing pattern envelope. All right. So this one, let's see, what's the copy date on this one? 1966. And then this one does have, I'll show you, some stamping. Like, I guess where you would purchase it from, they would stamp their address on there. And then this one I did a little bit differently on the front pocket. I made it a double pocket. And looks like I'm the queen of getting things stuck this time. So I'm going to have to give you another flashcard. But there will be a flashcard tucked in here. These are Greek. I think they're Greek flashcards. I'll try to remember at the end of the video to grab the box. I'll show you. And a math flashcard. And some things tucked into the pocket. There's a memo sheet and some sheets of this writing paper. Another flashcard, book plate, and some Apple stationery. So similar kinds of things I mentioned in my last video. This is a vintage yo-yo and some gold star stickers. Vintage milk cap. I pulled all of the ephemera for these all at the same time, so you will see a lot of the same elements, just in a different way sometimes, or you know, similar, so that I can save a little bit of time and I can make more journals to make it more cost effective to doing these. If I were to pull the elements for each of these each time, it would take a very long time. That's one of the things that takes the most time for me when I make the journals, is pulling all the papers, coordinating everything, pulling the fabrics and ephemera. And so that's why I do bulk batches like this, to make it more time efficient. A vintage yo-yo. And for this one, I took one of those flashcards and I just stitched around it. It's just faux stitching to make it into a little pocket. And there's a vintage library catalog card tucked in there. Report card, ticket, vintage ledger, fabric ruffles, This is a little desk date book from 1961. And this is a cut apart from the paper line. These are the same printables that I've mentioned that I'll have linked in the description. Vintage milk cap, vintage ice ticket, a journaling card, another vintage photo, and a pocket here. I just stuck a little journaling card in there, and a reader page, some vintage writing paper and fabric. Here I paper clipped in. If you watch my last video, I've done this a few times where I've just cut this is from a sewing pattern catalog, and so I left it in here and paper clipped it in case you want to fussy cut these girls out and use them throughout the journal. The other option is if you purchase the journal, you can send me a message and say, I'd like this sewn to a piece of cardstock so that you can use it as a journaling card or a little tuck spot. I have no problem attaching it to some cardstock so you can use it in that way, but I can't go the other way. So if you wished that I would have not attached it and would rather fussy cut it, then I can't I can't go the other way. So I'd rather you just send me a message if you want it backed. This is a vintage ticket and some more vintage fabric, playing cards, another tuck spot, and then this is the back pocket with a nickel and a journaling card, a vintage Denison seal, some more of that notebook paper. This is a vintage August file index card and a vintage postcard. This one's not too old, it's 2008. But I think it'd make a good, cute little journaling card. So those were the sewing pattern journals. And then I will show you this Grover Goes to School Ringbound Journal. And this one is, not heavily embellished. So the price point will reflect that. With the ringbound, my idea is not to have it serve as any ringbound that I make. It's really so that it can be super flexible. You can take pages out, use them how you want, add your own pages in, that sort of thing. So if you want to add pages in, I'm sure most of you know this, you just grab a piece of, let's say I would use a cardstock piece and line it up, line the holes up, and then just use a hole punch to punch your holes in whatever you want to add to the journal. So I've added a pocket here with a book page image. And then this one, the copyright is 1982. And we've got a tuck spot with some vintage stationery and a vintage dictionary page. And a flashcard paper clipped in. Again, similar elements. This one's got a different stationery. I think this was a page from the book, I think maybe the front or the back, and I think it'd be excellent for journaling here in the sky. So I left that as a page. A report card with a milk cap. And then I took an image from the book and fussy cut it, backed it onto some cardstock and made it into a tuck spot. Lots of flip out pages. This is a KBandFriends printable. And some more of that vintage ABC trim. And then this, I think this image was from a magazine, and it's just a little pocket with some things tucked in. Another pocket with some notes and an alphabet, or I'm sorry, I keep saying that, dictionary page. This is from a Richard Scarry story. A vintage photo of a school-aged boy. Lots of room for you to customize this one. This is a tag, or you could make it into a tuck spot. quickly for you guys. This is an image from a magazine. And this is from a vintage science, children's science book. And then another puzzle piece as a tab. This one does have, it was ripped, and so whoever owned this book previously took some tape and taped it back together, and that'll be cool because over time it will, you know, get that cool aged look to it. Things tucked in the pocket here, and a vintage McCall's Make It book page, and some ledger, stationery, Richard Scarry page, another tag. And that is the end of that one. So that's Grover Goes to School. And then finally, I have two little golden books that are completely empty. So they just have their pages in them. And the cover is, let's see, I think I did not cover this one. So they're basically blank slates. You're ready to go. They're the typical 6x8 with a 2.5-inch spine and 3 signatures. And then for this one, there must have been some damage or writing here, so I covered it with some cardstock. This one's textured and stitched around it. And then this book, let's see what the copyright is, 1972. And so it's all just blank pages. So you have a completely blank slate, but the pages are done for you as far as sewing them in and choosing them to coordinate with each other. This is from the Make It book, Vintage McCall's Make It book. Just kind of quickly, there's not too much to see in these, so go pretty quickly here. Super colorful, super fun. This is some vintage wrapping paper. This piece of that tape somehow got onto that one. So before I do any embellishing, if I sew the signatures in first, that is, this is what the journals look like. Just totally blank slates. Of course, the Etsy description will have the number of pages and such, but yeah. And then for these, anything that has a soft corner, I will send corner protectors for, metal corner protectors. And so this one I left the inside because it was not written on, and the colors are so cute with this paper and everything. So even the back is in really good shape. So I left them. And then let's see, this one, the Little Book of Words, Golden Book of Words, is copyright 1948. This is an older one. Similar pages, different scrapbook paper. So it's all ready for you to fill up however you'd like. This is the yearbook page. And that is the end of that one. So thanks for sticking with me, guys. Really quick, I wanted to let you know these will not be available this time, but I'm hoping to have these available by September 2nd, but you guys will, I will come on here and do a video of these when they're done, but I have started the little crayon boxes. I've started getting them ready. I don't think that I'm going to have time to do these before I put my shop on vacation mode, so these will be when I get back. I'll finish these up and then they will be in my Etsy shop. So thank you for watching, and let me know if you have any questions. Like I said at the beginning, if you're seeing the video, they will be available in my Etsy shop unless it's on vacation mode. So I will see you in the next video. Hopefully my life calms down a little bit and I can get back onto track with doing craft with me's and that sort of thing. So look forward to that in the future, and I will see you soon. Bye.